justice shall reign. Thank you very much. You can be seated. Wonderful audience. We recognize all NGOs in this place. And of course, in due time, we'll be getting goodwill messages from them. We recognize those who are from the Ministry of Gender Affairs and Social Development. We recognize those from the Ministry of Human Development and Poverty Reduction. We recognize those who came from the Ministry of Justice. These are very significant ministries to what we're doing here. We also recognize those from the National Orientation Agency, JONINAP, WD, and AAN. I want to thank you. Okay, without wasting time, I want to welcome for the welcome remarks. Welcome remarks from INEC Enugu, and it's my pleasure to welcome the Head of Department of Voter Education and PRO INEC, Public Relations Officer INEC, in the person of Achumie Choka. Let's put our hands together as it comes to the podium. Was that a clap? Thank you, moderator. Good morning, everyone present. I use the opportunity to, well, first and foremost, I'm here on behalf of my state resident electoral commissioner who incidentally is on the way. I believe in a short while they will join us here physically. It's no other person than Dr. Joseph Chukwu. I recognize the President of Gender Affairs and Social Development, the Minister of Human Development and Poverty Reduction, Minister of Justice, National Orientation Agency, JONINAP, WT/AAA. I probably have the honor to recognize my sister and colleague from our headquarters, Mrs. Bennett Goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the resident electoral commissioner in Enugu State, Dr. Joseph Chukwu, I present this special remark. It is my pleasure to bring you warm greetings from the chairman of the commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, and I'm delighted to be part of this all-important topic on ABLE2VOTE campaign towards a more inclusive electioneering process for persons with disability, PWD. As we all know, the acceptable standard for a successful election is being free, fair, credible, and inclusive. In the context of election management, inclusivity is the undertaking to create equal opportunity and a level playing field for civic and political participation by all eligible Nigerians without discrimination, and to ensure that all eligible voters are able to seamlessly exercise their franchise regardless of gender, disability, displacement status within the territory of Nigeria. The Commission is particularly pleased to note that the 2023 Electoral Act Section 54, Subsection 2, provides special needs, vulnerable persons by provision of suitable magnifying glass, large impact, the facial recognition feature of papers has assisted ensuring that they vote easily without dealing with the fingerprint challenges. The Electoral Act has also empowered the Commission to allocate resources to this cause, as the impact can be seen in the recent Ekiti and Osun election, where both barrier and magnifying glasses were provided for PWDs during the elections. I use this opportunity to inform you that as of today, the Commission has 8,809 RAs made up of 176,846 PUs scattered across 774 local governments, including FTC Abuja. Here in Enugu State, we have 260 RAs. By RAs in INEC, we mean wards, and 4,145 polling units. The display of preliminary register of voters for scrutiny, claims and objection is ongoing at all registration through wards in the 17 local government areas of the states. The display exercise will take place from 12 to 18 November 2022 between the time 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily at RA level. The exercise will continue at local government level from 19 to 25 November 2022 for claims and objection. I therefore encourage all participants to pay full attention and contribute their diverse experience from their various fields of studies to this discussion, as lessons learned and knowledge gained will be relevant in discharging the duties ahead. I take this opportunity to express the Commission's sincere appreciation to the organizers of this program for putting together this enlightenment and inspiring program. Once again, I thank you for your attention and wish all of us a fruitful deliberation. Like I said, my commissioner is on the way, and in the meantime, he will join us for the program. Thank you for your attention.
I think you can do better than that. Put your hands together. We have set the ground running, and get ready for the video. Those in charge of the video, we're going to be taking a 2-minute video for you. But when I say I am able, I'd like you to say to vote. I am able. I am able. That's what we're here to do. I am able to vote. I am able. I can't hear your voice. You're sounding like you borrowed the voice, so you're very careful so it doesn't crack. I am able. I am able. Okay. We'll take a 2-minute video. I'd like you to watch attentively. We'll be right back to take the next step. That's the loudest.
Southwest, Southeast, and South-South. The ABLE2VOTE is safeguarding disability inclusion in Nigeria's electoral process through its ongoing nationwide voter education campaign for the community of persons with disabilities. The ABLE2VOTE activities will commence with the national press conference in Abuja on the 18th of October 2022, while state activities will go in Abuja, October 28th, Kaduna, October 24th, Gombe, October 21st, Port Harcourt, 27th, Enugu, November 16th, Lagos, November 21st.
Is that the loudest it can be?
As a person with disability in Nigeria, do you know you have a right to vote in the upcoming general elections and subsequent off-cycle elections?
To vote is a strategic campaign by the foundation to reduce voter apathy amongst the persons with disability in Nigeria. Come 2023, Go out and exercise your right to vote. From the North Central to the Northeast, Northwest, Southwest, Southeast, and South-South, the ABLE Foundation is safeguarding disability inclusion in Nigeria's electoral process through its ongoing nationwide voter education campaign for the community of persons with disabilities. The ABLE2VOTE scheduled activities will commence with the National Press Conference in Abuja on the 18th of October 2022, while state activities will hold in Abuja October 19th, Kaduna October 24th, Gombe October 31st, Port Harcourt November 7th, Enugu November 16th, Lagos November 21st. ABLE2VOTE. Voting is our right. This message is brought to you by the ABLE Foundation in collaboration with the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities, NCPWD, and funded by the European Union through its EU SDGM program. TAF, Disability Inclusion Champion. Ask a person with disability in Nigeria. Ask a
Hello? Okay. I hope you saw the video and I hope you got one or two things from the video. Without wasting time, I don't have the names of the people representing each of these parastatals, but I will quickly call the ministries and probably they can tell us their names. Do we have someone from the Ministry of Gender Affairs and Social Development? Ministry of Gender Affairs and Social Development. Do we have someone from the Ministry of Human Development and Poverty Reduction? Okay, do we have somebody from the Ministry of Justice? What are from the National Orientation Agency? Okay. Quickly, we're going to take, of course, if you watch the video carefully, you will see that what is happening here today has happened in some other places and will happen in some other place after today. So I'll like to welcome the program manager, Ndefreke, to give us a highlight of ABLE2VOTE campaign covering Abuja, Kaduna, Gombe, and Rivers State. And let's have it. Let's put your hands together as she comes.
Thank you very much. Ututoma. Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you once again for honoring our invitations and for being here for us. So like you know, my name is Ndefreke Ferdinand, and I am the program manager for the Albino Foundation. And we are very, very delighted to have you here. So according to INEC's current available data on the distribution of persons with disabilities in the Southeast, we have at least 7,122 persons with disability that have registered and are eligible to vote in the upcoming elections. So, and then generally, we have 74,072, sorry. And as we prepare to express our democratic rights in the upcoming elections, it is essential that the participatory processes are inclusive and also designed to enable neglected and conventionally marginalized persons of the society to have a meaningful voice in the political and electoral processes. In addition to the numerous commendable measures already put in place by INEC to enhance the mainstreaming of PWDs, persons with disabilities, in the process, the Albino Foundation is committed to sensitize at least 6,000 persons with disabilities in Nigeria on their electoral rights and addressing the age-long disability gap in the voter turnout. And this is the essence of the ABLE2VOTE campaign. Okay, it is sponsored by the EU, the European Union, through its support to democratic governance in Nigeria and projects. Okay, and it's a voter education campaign to reduce voter apathy to the barest minimum and to promote the mainstreaming of persons with disabilities in the electoral processes. It's all about enlightening us on our right to vote and to participate actively in the upcoming elections. So before I go on, I have to pause here so we can acknowledge the presence of the resident electoral commissioner, Dr. Chukwuemeka Chukwu, the INEC reg for Enugu State. Please let's stand and acknowledge him. You're welcome, sir. We are honored to have you. Okay. So like we were saying, we are making a presentation on key highlights of what we have done in other zones. So ABLE2VOTE campaign is a zonal thing, and we started in the north. We started in the north central Abuja, okay? And these are majorly we are going to present the key recommendations, and then we just show some pictures. So in Abuja, these are the key recommendations: that sign language experts should be deployed at all polling units, and then there should be proper training of all INEC ad hoc staff on the utilization of facilities that aid the participation of persons with disabilities. There should also be adequate training of persons with disabilities on the requirements and processes involved. Then be encouraged to collect the PVCs. And then also assistive devices and accessibility should be provided at polling units. And these are some of the participation. It was highly attended. We had a very good number. The target was 1,000 persons, but we had a raw head count estimate of 1,009 participants. And of course, 636 were registered. And they came from all the states within the North Central Zone, from Abuja, from Benue, from Kogi, from Kwara, from Nasarawa, from Plateau, Niger, and then we had other people. And these are some of the pictures from the event. You can see the CEO of the Albino Foundation, Mr. Jake Ekele, Ambassador Jake Ekele. Okay. Those are some of the pictures. We had the privilege of having the INEC chairman, Professor Yakubu Mahmoud, in attendance. Okay, and then we moved on to Northeast, and it happened in Kaduna. Northwest, sorry, it happened in Kaduna, and these are the key recommendations. First one was on security. It should be enforced for persons with disabilities at polling units, because should there be a situation of violence, they may be helpless to run or escape. So security should be enforced for them. And then also, INEC should increase and improve their implementation processes and policies on enabling PWDs to participate effectively in the electoral processes. Then persons with disabilities were also encouraged to stand up and support themselves and also participate actively in the electoral process to enhance its success. Then they were also advised to apply and be enlisted as INEC ad hoc staff. And like we may know, the application is ongoing, the recruitment process is ongoing. You do well to participate. PWDs were also encouraged to contest for elective positions, which brings me to announcing that come November 28th, the Albino Foundation is going to be having a mentorship forum, a capacity building session for persons with disabilities who are already contestants in the upcoming elections. So the participation also, it was well attended. The target was 100 persons, but we had 178 participants at raw count, and of course 135 registered. We had people from Kano, from Katsina, from Kebbi, Jigawa, Sokoto, and Zamfara. Thank you. And these are some of the pictures. We had representatives of INEC and the resident electoral commissioners and admin sets from most of the states within the North West. And then we moved on to Northeast, Gombe. And the key recommendations were that we should, CSOs, NGOs, INEC should have in-depth discussions with political parties and their chairpersons on inclusion, on the political perspectives. And then access to polling units should be improved on. Assistive devices should be made available, and priority voting should be encouraged by INEC. Then we also advised the Albino Foundation as well as INEC and other partners to promote the stepping down of the ABLE2VOTE campaign because it was very, very impactful. So to go down to the grassroots. Then PWDs should be recruited by INEC as ad hoc staff. And then the desk officers should be trained on a better understanding of persons with disability. Again, it was highly, we had a very lovely attendance. We targeted 100 persons, but we had 202 and 186 registered participants. And these are some of the highlights, the pictures. We had most of the resident electoral commissioners and admin sects. You can see some of them. Okay, and then last week we were in the south, where I am from. So we are in Rivers. So the key recommendations: continuous voter sensitization and voter education should continue. Then voter registration among PWDs. So we discovered that some people who had maybe registered before 2019 may not have been captured in the data that we have now. So we encourage PWDs to go to INEC and continue with the process. Then also there should be an increased collaboration between INEC and JONAP, that's the Joint Nationalization of Persons with Disabilities, their leadership for effective mainstreaming strategies. And then we should ensure that PWD inclusion is encouraged even at political parties activities. Okay, and these are the participation. We had 107 participants and 94 were registered. Okay, and these are some of the pictures. Okay, so that is ABLE2VOTE, North Central, Northeast, Northwest, South, and today we are here in Southeast, Enugu precisely. So before I leave here, I would just like to know how many of us have gotten our PVCs. Let's see. Please, if you have your PVC, raise your hand. Okay, so how are we going to have our voices heard if majority have gotten their PVCs, but a lot are yet to? So I'm encouraging us. We are the champions, not just for albinism. No, I can see a lot of my people. Okay, I recognize you, but you are champions for disability inclusion, and we want our voices to be heard. Come 2023, we want out of 84,000 that we have. We want to see more than that participate in the elections. So please endeavor, make a date and pick up your PVC. Thank you very much.
You can do better than that. Put your hands together one more time. All right. Once again, I recognize the distinguished presence of the INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner, Dr. Chukwemeka. And without wasting time, let's take a goodwill message on behalf of the Albinism Association of Nigeria, and the secretary is here to do that. The secretary of AAN, Albinism Association of Nigeria. Okay. If you want to clap like nobody's watching.
Thank you. My name is Asogwa Okuchukwu Adeze. I'm the Secretary of the Albinism Association of Nigeria in Enugu State. Information which will be empowered, and we're not just going to hold on to information. Information from 2023 election to exercise our voters' right as citizens. Thank you once more. My good message is very snappy. I hope you don't mind. Thank you very much, the organizers once more. Thank you.
Now you're clapping like someone is forcing you. Put your hands together. All right, without wasting time, let's get the goodwill message of Joint National Association of Persons with Disabilities. I understand the Vice Chairman is here. Vice Chairman. You're welcome. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very glad to stand in your midst and to present the Enugu State Camapign chapter. Thank you once again. In our local government, I want to say, welcome to Enugu. Everybody stay where? You must stay on wherever. Other state in Europe. No. I should no. Okay. Please. In this junction, I want to thank the organizers of this program. Thank you very much. We are ready for coming up election. We have our PVs. We are ready to vote. We have a much educated about this coming up election. So we sincerely thank the organizers of this program to enlighten us more on this coming up election. Thank you very much. On behalf of Enugu Camapign and the entire Enugu State, I want to thank everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, Vice Chairman of Joint National Association of Persons with Disabilities. Are we ready for the final discussion? Time waits for no man. And while the presentations were going on, we had a person representing the commandant. All right, so representing the commandant, NSCDC Enugu State Command, we have CSC Denny Manuel Iwuchi. We invite you for your goodwill message, short goodwill message. No claps. You're welcome.
Good morning, House. I am privileged to be among great people like you, great men and women of our generation. I want to appreciate you because I know that God is doing something great in your life. Yes, I draw this inspiration from the fact that my personal friend, Jacob Belle, I discussed with him yesterday. I wanted to know if he would be here. He told me no, that he's in Abuja. I discussed with him yesterday. I've always been in your programs. You have always carried me along in other programs. I want to tell you congratulations. Do you know why I'm congratulating you? Yes. For you to have called yourself together and to say, I am a voice, recognize me. It's a great milestone. That this thing I always say, disability is in a person. There's no human being on earth who is not disabled. Hello? If you talk the way you take it for yourself, it will affect you. Some of us that you may see, our body is complete, we can stand, we can work. Some of us cannot speak English. He might be a graduate. Call him to speak English. You'll be mumbling and mumbling and mumbling and pouring spit on people. That's disability. Is it not true? You elect somebody to be your governor. He went to government house and he messed the whole state up. He's disabled. I mean, that is disability. Let them put disability where you are. Your physical appearance has nothing to do with your membrane. What you're talking about, put your brain to work and use it to prove to the world that they are wrong. So don't allow anybody to pity you. After all, it is even in some disadvantaged position you'll be able to prove to the world that something. I was discussing with somebody somewhere. We were talking about when you go to dustbin, you see people in the dustbin, you picking something, doing something. And what that's supposed to mean? I said, those people are wiser than me and you. And there are treasures in dustbin which you have not seen, but they have seen it. Hello? So that's all that. So now you've come to say, I'm a voice. The election is coming. Please, you cast your vote. Sure. We are with you. We are in the security setting. By the grace of God, we will do everything possible to protect your interests. After all, those of them that have put us in trouble and messed our country up, their hands are held, you know, complete. But they are disabled. It is disability that put an end to what it is. You don't allow people to tell you that you are the one who is disabled. Allah, the worst disabled people are even in high places in Nigeria. They go to London, they go to America, they see all good things happening there. But they come to the country to upside down. They are disabled. So I want to say congratulations. So please, let's go on. I'm with you, and may God bless you all in Jesus' name.
Thank you. Again, try to put my hands together. That was a much needed message that somebody needed to hear this morning.
All right, just before we get into the panel discussion, let me bring the INEC Electoral Commissioner for Enugu State to speak to us, Dr. Chukwuemeka Chukwu. Let's have him.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. When I was in university, about I say 10 years ago, I was with one professor of public health, on discussion of his inaugural lecture. She discussed on ability in disability. I think today people are talking of disability, but she recoins her topic ability in disability. What are the ability in disability? Just like our brother just said here, if you can communicate, if you can do anything next, you are ability. Every person in society lack one or two factors. Where in Igbo language we say wazurodi. So in translation, this X is not enough for everyone. Whether you are ability, whether you are disability, you are human beings. My message, though I came late, my message is, as I read, recall of recent commission have been in the mission of no longer a mission of a free, fair election. But today we are titled it free, fair, inclusive election. Who are we inclusive? That's the question. Every person that's eligible, every person that at the age of 18, these are people that we are calling translate by inclusive election. Today, 2023 election, barely about 100 days to the end of the presidential and the National Assembly election. And we're having this program in Southeast. We, as INEC, Nigeria, and in particular in Enugu State, every person in society is able. You have a place in INEC office in Enugu State. That is my assurance. From today, all of us, our HOD, voter education and publicity is here. Our HOD, electoral operation is here. After this meeting, your leader, you can go to our office. We provide a place for you. So to integrate you on activities of the Commission as far as 2023 Commission is concerned. On that note, we will prove the world there is ability in disability. Now, dear ladies and gentlemen, Commission, you recall the part of the election 2023 and other previous election conducted in Nigeria. 2023 is very, very peculiar. As a result of introduction of technology into the system, either we will combine manual and the electronic. When we say the manual, you can identify a person where his or her in our portal or in our something we paste on the wall leads to what we call the display of the voter register or register of the voter. We paste it in our notice board across the ward level, across the offices. What you do, call your brother, let him or her lead you to our office. You check whether your name is correctly spelled, correctly written. If you start, go to our various local governments, our offices, ask for your BBCs if you have not committed. This year election, just like I said, is very big. We are using electronic ballots. We will now bring example of beavers to show you so you know how it works. So that the day of election, there's no way these days, as far as INEC is concerned, your vote will count. It's our assurance. Once we vote, wait for your vote. The vote these days is in the polling unit. It's no longer on the way, it's in the polling unit. Once you vote, wait. If you cannot wait, take a distance. the vote will be uploaded at the point of the voting polling unit. So, my dear ladies and gentlemen, let me also remind us here that our registration portal is still on the station of the ad hoc staff, because I heard when one of you mentioned some other states where people have met, and they discover, and one of the key recommendations is increasing of the ad hoc staff by all the disability persons. From us here, just like this, all of you will be included in registration. But one thing you have to do, one thing you have to help us, you have to Google in our portal. Either few weeks ago, you have been trying, and either the portal is at the point to stop, either the point is network. But you can try with us today. This you can hit on INEC Press app.com/press. If you can hit on it, you can do the registration very fast. Or you can hit on press.inecnigeria.org. So thank you. We wish you well as we continue today's deliberation. And I think knowledge pass today will be for tomorrow and the generation to come. You are highly welcome in Enugu State. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you, INEC Commissioner, President Electoral Commissioner for Enugu State, Dr. Chukwemeka Chukwu. Without wasting time, we're going to be going into the panel discussion. And of course, if you look at the stage, you will see about 6 seats. One belongs to the moderator of the panel, and then there are other people who will be sitting the discourse. And in no particular order, let me welcome some of the people that will be discussing with us this morning. I'd like to welcome Mr. Denny Manuel, representing the Chief Superintendent NSCDC. You might want to join us up here. Let's put our hands together as we welcome him on stage. There's a seat for you here. Let's also welcome to the stage Mr. Larry Ogwego, who is the Director of Human Rights Volunteer Corps. If you want to clap, clap well. All right. Larry is, for me, the strongest voice for human rights in all of the southern Nigeria. Let's put our hands together one more for Larry. It's obvious they love you. You must feel very loved right now. And I'm jealous right now. Okay. Let's put our hands together one more time for you. Okay. Without wasting time, I also want to welcome from the disability rights activist. He's a disability, she is a disability rights activist, Mrs. Chiamaka Ohalete. Is she around? Mrs. Chiamaka Ohalete. Or is it Ohalete? Ohalete, okay. Ohalete, welcome. It's good to balance it too. All right, without wasting time, let's welcome another lady who is an INEC official from the Federal Capital Territory, Mrs. Benny. Good news. She brings us good news from Abuja. It's like you don't like her. Mrs. Benny, good news. Good to have you. The best women should go one side. They're here because you have gender balance. You want to know what product. I just back on one side. I back on one, but they can handle. Okay. To represent the INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner, we want to welcome back Mr. Achumi Choka. If you don't mind, you're supposed to be part of this. Okay, and to anchor this very important session, I want to welcome from the Albinism Association of Nigeria, Mr. Emeka Ugu. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. My name is Emeka Ugu. I'm a member of the Board of Trustees of the Albinism Association of Nigeria. And this is a beautiful, beautiful event. I'm glad to be here with each and every one of us. Thank you, members of the panelists. We look forward to a robust discussion. As you see, I would like to take a cue from the INEC Reg, who just made reference to ability in disability. And what do we have on the screen here? Able to vote. So it's all about pulling out our various abilities, looking away from our disability, and stretching ourselves further to go out there and do what we can do to participate actively in these elections so that our votes and our voice will count. Thank you very much. Okay. So we have security issues around disability and prevalent gaps in electoral rights of persons with disabilities. NCDC, I think you will take 4 minutes to just give us an overview to assure us that we will be safe on that day, the day of election. Just an overview.
Thank you very much, the moderator. Once again, good day, House. We are here today to do one of the functions that will make our election a reality, what it's supposed to be. I believe this is part of the build-up to election. Election is not an event, it's a program that is planned and is going. I'm speaking from the security angle. By the grace of God, my name once again is Chief Superintendent Dane Emmanuel Imuchukwu. By the grace of God, I am the Public Relations Officer, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps in Enugu State. I'm here representing the Commandant. Election is coming, and security has become the in thing in Nigeria today. What is security? Security is not just the absence of war, but sense of being secured, that you may not be attacked or may be kidnapped. That is security in actual sense. But we have seen that our country is on a crossroads security-wise. A lot of uncertainties everywhere. But that does not mean we will not go on doing what we're supposed to do. I just came back from Abuja a few days ago, and I went through the road. And it's very fearful to go to Abuja through the road now and come back. But I did it, and nothing happened. Now I want to assure you and inform you that we in the security services, we are not resting on our laurels. We are very much out to make sure that the election is free and fair. Despite the fact of discordant tones you might be hearing by the sides of the spoilers who would want to believe us that there's tension everywhere. Please, on election day, we have so strategized that the security men will position at various places, both marked policemen and marked security men, just like me. I am marked, that is, I'm in uniform. If you see me, you will identify me.
and unmarked, that is the undercover. Many of us, men and women, will be unmarked. Just to make sure that the citizenry are free to exercise their civic responsibility. Please, bad people are in government because good people shy away from voting. And I think Nigeria is now taking a new dimension altogether. And it is all of us that will do it. We are in security, it's not that easy with us, but we are conquering. Therefore, I encourage every one of us to come out. Sorry for that. I encourage every one of us to come out that day. There is adequate security. Hello? Maybe all of us here are Christians, isn't it? What happened in Anambra election? Exactly 1 year now. November last year. My relations were calling me from all parts of the world that I should not go to Anambra election. I'm from Anambra State. You were telling me not to go. My second, who is here with me, she's from Enugu State here. The sisters were calling her, make sure you don't go to Anambra. And I told them I'm going to Anambra. That if there's any other person that will run away from Anambra election, it is the bad people and not me. We went to Anambra election. Election was held and nothing happened. I think you are all aware. 2023, election will hold and nothing will happen. In Jesus' name. So please, the assurance is there. Come out. We are there to do what man can do. Then God will not do what we cannot do. Let us pray together and come out for this election. They said security is there for you, and by the grace of God, we shall make it. Thank you.
Okay, all right. So let's also thank you very much for that assurance, that strong assurance. I hope you're not going to be afraid anymore to vote. All right, thank you. Make sure you're there, but please appear on every single polling unit. You're going to be gone that day.
Yeah. I will drop my
number. Okay, no problem. No, but you didn't get what I said. I said appear on every single polling unit. You'll be omnipresent. Okay. All right. So let's take voter apathy and individual cluster needs.
Thank you so much, Mr. Moderator. Voter apathy in Nigeria is no longer a new thing. If you watch the election system, from 2011 till the last general election of 2019, we have witnessed a low turnout number of voters. 2011, that was the first time I started voting. We used to go out, in as much as the number in that 2011 were much compared to what we witnessed in 2019. We used to go out freely without fear of anything, like security issues. But today, voter apathy is increasing. One, due to the security issues in Nigeria, that even some persons have come to tell us, protect yourself, or nobody is ready to protect you. I know that our brother here have already assured us that the security will be tight that day, but I can tell you that despite security, we should also try as much as possible to apply caution on the election day. That does not mean that we're not going to vote. Then another thing that is causing voter apathy in Nigeria is in the aspect of the lack of confidence in the candidates, in our politicians. A lot of them have come to promise us heaven and earth, what they will do for us when they emerge. But over the time, we've witnessed that after the whole electoral promises, the campaign promises, they just win, abandon us here, goes to Abuja, do their thing, and return back in the next 4 years. And this has made so many people lack confidence and not to stress themselves despite the challenges to come out to vote. Then the last thing that is causing voter apathy, especially in the aspect of persons with disabilities, is the lack of provision by INEC. 2018, INEC developed a framework for inclusion of persons with disabilities. But I can tell you that in 2019 election, that framework was not properly implemented in the aspect of INEC. Because one, they lack the disaggregated data of persons with disabilities. They failed to identify each individual cluster, the polling unit that they are located, and the adequate provision to make for them. And this actually exacerbates the challenges of persons with disabilities at the polling units. Yes, I know that this year, INEC have come out to give us the disaggregated data, but I can tell you that even with that disaggregated data, it is still for the new registered voters. There are persons with disabilities who registered before this disaggregated data, and I can tell you, though Auntie Benny, you can actually say something on this, but the previous registered voters, their disaggregated data is not really recorded. So what that means is that INEC will be making provision for the new registered voters that they are taking their disaggregated data. From the previous years, even with the data that they have, they were not able to make that individual cluster linked. Yes, they were able to provide the Braille ballot guide for the blind, but there was absence of sign language interpreters at the polling units, and their posters, election materials were not seen in a large print for easy understanding of the deaf and persons with albinism. So on that note, I will say that INEC have a whole lot of work to do in ensuring that voter apathy is reduced and that individual cluster needs, like the Braille ballot guide, sign language interpreters, and the posting of election materials and voters register are pasted in such a way that everybody can easily access it. The little persons, those on wheelchairs, can easily access it. And that the ad hoc staff are really trained in such a way that they will set their cubicle and their desks in a way that everybody will have access to it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chima. That was beautiful. So in regards to this apathy, just know one thing. If the apathy continues, the bad guys win. Are you all hearing me? If the apathy continues, the bad guys win. The people who you are trying to stop, they will have their way. But when we all come out, when everybody comes out and ignore all these circumstances, the artificial circumstances they create to discourage people and thereby increase voter apathy, when we all come out, we will overwhelm them and we'll have our say. Thank you very much. So I'll call on Mr. No, I think it's time to call on the INEC person. Say something to give us a brief overview. So I'll call on the Enugu representative to talk about which of them? Let's see. Okay, priority access, voting access to polling units. How are we going to be sure that persons with disability have priority access to polling units? I'll give you an example. Let me use myself as an example. This one you can see is very hot. So on election day, if you keep me in the queue for 1 hour, 2 hours under the blazing sun, the tendency is that I will step away from that queue. So that's for me. Now for somebody who is struggling to stand with crutches, if you keep them standing for too long, the tendency is for them to move away. So how do we get priority access on the voting day so that persons with disabilities can exercise their franchise without being discouraged?
From the current electoral law, the Commission has made provisions on how to protect people with disabilities, not just people with just disability alone, both the elderly, the pregnant women. In any way, the Commission has made provisions, And even the other staff have been trained in such a way that they give priority to all these people. Even if you could recall during our continuous voter registration that was suspended a few months ago, you'll find out that on the registration guideline, people with disability, people that have one problem or the other are given, priority attention. Even when you come with, kids, you find out that you give them access to the register immediately so that you can go. In the same way, on the election day, the commission has been trained the ad hoc staff to give priority attention to people with disability, so that they are not kept for too long on the line there. They are given access to do their voting process and do whatever that will take them there so that they can do it and go immediately. Like my honorable rep rightly pointed out, after the voting, if you still want to stay behind and see what is happening, you can stay so long as you don't create problems, within the voting circle. Like he said, actually, we are talking of the apathy on the day of election. The truth about it is that you can't stay on the fence and there are people questioning games. Remember, the bad people, they never sleep. They don't sleep. But with the introduction of the beavers, previously we have been using what we call a cardinal. A lot of things has been corrected. The cardinal gives room to what we call incident form. Incident form gives room to impersonation. You see a situation, somebody will come to vote, even where you are using somebody's card. So long as the crowd there supported you, you'll be allowed to vote. But with the introduction of the beavers now, you find out you cannot vote. Even if you have a card, but your name is not in the register, you cannot be allowed to vote. So please we use this opportunity as you are doing the display. Go and check your name. It's not about having the card. It's about making sure that the information in the card corresponds with what we have in our register and the beavers. So that on that day will not be disenfranchised, even though you are a disabled person or people with disability. Once all these things are correct, will not be delayed, the time will not be wasted, you'll find yourself casting your vote and leaving the polling circle. So a lot of things have been put in place. INEC has simply assured that people with disability, that there will be ability in disability that day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, like the saying goes, do we have good people or bad people here in this hall? Is there any bad person in this hall? Have you heard the saying that evil only thrives when good men keep silent? So the evil that is destroying our land, that is making our lives miserable, will only continue to prevail if many of us keep silent. Make up your minds. You can see the assurances are coming out here. We make out our mind on that day and go out and make sure we vote. First of all, go get your PVC. All right, I'll call on Mr. Larry Obrego to give us an overview of the prevalent gaps in electoral rights of persons with disability.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Moderator. I think it's important that we first of all recognize the fact that when we talk about electoral gaps, we are talking about gaps that prevent us from either standing for elections as candidates or voting for other candidates. We have already finished with the primary, so we won't dwell too much on issues surrounding gaps that prevent us from standing for elections. But I think it's pertinent to note that listening to Jake Ebele yesterday, he mentioned that there are about 16 or 17 persons with disability contesting for elections in the whole nation. About 12. And I was puzzled. Only 12 persons in the entire Nigeria. So I started asking myself, so if we have only 12 contestants, and I want to assume that 12 of them will not win, so even if all of them win, it means that the representation is so insignificant that your voices will not be heard. And what it means is that the only way our voices can be heard is that we now use our PVC to go to the other side. Since we didn't make it, as it were, on the side of being voted for, we can actually vote for others. I also gathered yesterday that 16% of the persons registered to vote in Nigeria are persons with disabilities. 16%. Now that 16% is enough to tilt the balance if persons with disability will come together and assert themselves through the ballot box. Now the issue is, what are the gaps that exist? INEC has done a good job, I must say. The present regime has really listened to the people and improved a lot of things. But then there are some issues we have not talked about. When we talk about gaps, for me, there are two kinds of gaps. That is, we are talking about electoral laws, but we also talk about things that are beyond the laws. Let's look at one of the very critical gaps in electoral laws. The law states clearly, for instance, that regular people cannot move around on election day. What it means is that without any clear exception, persons with disability are not also expected to move around with their own vehicles on election day. And I'm aware that there are some places where there is a reasonable distance between vote and the polling unit. So how do you expect a person with disability? So the critical issue is, how does a person with disability cover that distance comfortably from his or her home to the polling unit? Now, it may look insignificant, but one of the things we must remember is that when you have this voting as an option, and then you also know that you have the option of not voting, anything that discourages you from voting actually increases the likelihood of the person tending towards voter apathy. If voting is not made comfortable for people, especially persons with disabilities, then you have increase in voter apathy. So one of the major gaps is that there is no clear provision for how persons with disabilities, especially most of them, have problems with mobility. How do they move comfortably to go and vote? They have been given priority at the voting center. That is good. But the big question now becomes, how do they now get to the voting center comfortably without being discouraged because of the distance? Now, that is very important. And when we talk about this gap is fundamental, because if you don't get to the voting center, you can't vote. And we're talking about electoral laws and the gaps. One of the things we have not done enough is to find a way to make it possible for persons with disability, especially disabilities that affect information transmission, to get to know truly all of what it takes for them to be able to vote. When you watch television, you see and get a lot of information. When you listen to radio, you get a lot of information about voting processes. But then, for a blind person who may not have reading access to media, for a blind person who may not be able to watch television because of power issues and all of that, how does the person get materials? Have we considered the blind? Have we considered the deaf and dumb who need special attention? Because some of them may not even be literate. But most importantly, this is very important. Have we considered persons with disabilities in rural areas who may not even understand your regular sign language because nobody has taught them? Now, the challenge here is that we have not captured them enough in our legislation, partly because they don't have a voice, because they are not able to speak for themselves, because they are not even captured by mainstream organizations that speak for persons with disability. What happens is that they are largely forgotten. And because they are forgotten, what also happens is that their issues are never brought to the table because their votes are not likely to get to the ballot box, so they won't even count. and then they don't contest for elections, so they are like a forgotten crowd. And that is why it has become very difficult for persons with disability as a people to be able to assert themselves. I'll just say this in 30 seconds. I just came from Enugu State House Assembly, where the bill for the persons with disabilities in Enugu State, the Disability Act, is being considered a public hearing. I submitted a paper there, and we tried to close a lot of these gaps in the paper submitted in Enugu State. But one of the things I reminded them here, which I keep reminding everybody, is that talking about electoral gaps, we should realize that every single person who has the privilege of walking around, of being able to see, of enjoying all of his or her faculties, is actually enjoying those things by the grace of God. If you doubt what I'm saying, go to orthopedic hospital after this session, you see the number of persons who will join the card of persons with disabilities today. Why am I saying this? Please, by all means, let us all join hands and join our voices to see that those electoral gaps are closed as fast as possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Larry. Please, whoever is in charge of the sound system should do something about the audio problem. It's comforting. You want to make a comment?
Please, I will only react on the issue of the card as regards to the movement. Really, the commission really realizes it during the 2019 election. And to really solve that problem, they find out that they created more units as regards to the 2023 election. So we try as much as to get this nearer to the doorstep of the voters. And that was why, if you notice during the continuous voters registration, we have a caption that says transfer of voters' cards. And I believe that most of us have availed ourselves that opportunity to transfer our voters' card closer and nearer to where it will be very convenient for us during the election day. So I think the commission did a lot to sort out that problem. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, sir. I want to use my ABLE unit as an example. Okay, while working on the sound system, please can you? Okay, all right. Hello. Okay. All right. So I'll appreciate it if we talk less and the hall is more quiet. Let's participate actively. It's not the side talks, please. Let's participate actively so we can benefit for why we're here. So I want to use an example. I live in New Haven. Most of the polling units are still in New Haven Primary School. And as of now, I do not have any additional information that those polling units have been spread out in different parts of New Haven Primary School. Now, from the beginning of New Haven to New Haven Primary School is quite a walking distance. From the end of New Haven to the New Haven Primary School is quite a walking distance. So we don't have any public information, so more needs to be done actively in the media to publicize those new locations so that people will know. All right.
Sorry, I'll just say this quickly. I like making recommendations when I identify problems. One of the things we can do here is to advocate that if a vehicle is moving with a person with disability, that disability impairs the person's movement to a polling unit within a certain person, that vehicle should be allowed access. I thought about that. It's simple because, sorry, but it's good to illustrate this. There are Nigerians who cannot walk and who don't have wheelchairs. So you don't expect that person to crawl from the house, even for a distance of 300 meters, or from somebody to carry the person on his back. But somebody can easily volunteer to drive that person or use a bike to take that person to a polling. So that clause, as long as the security agent can cite the person with disability and give people confidence, not on moral grounds but on legal grounds, that if I have a person with disability, I can take the person to go and vote. It makes a real world of difference.
Thank you very much. All right.
part of it. Quickly respond to what he said. As you know, INEC cannot do everything alone, and INEC is an law-abiding institution. I'm happy he just mentioned about coming from the house. In Enugu. Disability law to be domesticated in Enugu. Some of these things, if they don't go through the law, there is nothing INEC can do, especially on this transportation issue. We know that in Nigeria, on election day, people are not expected to move around. People are not expected to move around. People are not expected to move around on election day. So it was expected that during the trying to domesticate the law, or when the law is being planned, to advocate for things like this. I know we have a lot of organization of persons with disabilities that submitted memorandum and all that during that time. Things like this can get it. For this particular election, I don't see it possible happening on election day. Allowing persons with disability from here to go to Aba, for instance, it may not happen. Why? Because the law strictly says people cannot move that far. And that is why we are really where we are. But looking forward from now is something I think we can put in our mind and see how we can press further to ensure that things like this are put into place. So that subsequently, when we have to go, we are moving far or whatever, we as persons with disabilities, when I say we, my community, we can be able to move from A to Z on election day. And even looking forward, voting online and all other things can come. I'm just responding to what you said.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to point out that we were actually referring to the short distance. Short distance. Some of them have mobile devices, wheelchairs, and all. So even the 200, 300 meters, they're very difficult to get. So, yes, so it's not about the distance now. Yes. It's also about the age. Okay. Okay. It's okay.
Thank you very much. When I was speaking earlier, I told you I'm just coming back from Abuja. It's one of the workshops on elections we're waiting for. We in the security setting also know that people like you are there, the BWDs. Now, I want to inform you that in the security setting, we are advising and talking to ourselves. What you have that day is restriction of movement, not complete standing down of movement. Do you get that? Restriction. If your place of voting is within a walking distance, your brother, your sister, your son may lift you in a motorcycle or a car to the voting point. Security will not disturb you on one condition. Your voter card also serves as a pass. Do you get it? Your PVC also serves as what? A pass. Because you cannot tell me that you are going to vote and I don't see your PVC. Once it is within the vicinity where you live, you are allowed to move, to go and cast your vote. But make sure that you don't hide under going to vote and be doing other things without your voter's card. Once you don't have that PVC, the security will suspect you of other things and they will hinder you. But once you have it and they see your condition, they will allow you. Also, the security settings. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, while on the election day, do your best to go out to go and vote. If you encounter a security official, please politely introduce yourself and bring out your voter's card, your PVC. that should grant you pass to go to. And of course, you have to identify your address. They have to check the distance from where you're coming from and how close your polling unit is. Then they'll let you pass. We just play our parts, do the right thing, and everything will be okay. Please don't shout at the security officers when you see them on the road. Did you hear what I just said? Don't shout at them with their human beings. The sun will be hitting them that day. They will not be happy. All right. Okay, so we'll move to the question session now. I'll call on Mrs. Chiamaka Ohalete. So is there any connection between societal notions about PWDs and their participation in the electoral process?
Thank you so much, Mr. Moderator. I can tell you that societal perception, the negative societal perception against persons with disabilities is one of the reality that persons with disability face on a daily basis. And as a person with disability, if you want to thrive, you have to first of all overcome this societal perception about persons with disabilities. People think that persons with disabilities should be at the backyard. They are the second-class citizens. What can they do? They should just be at the receiving end, where we just get anything that we have, we just give them. It used to be a charity model before, where we allow like these things to happen. But now we are coming out to say that no, we are taking it from the right angle. And that is why we are holding the electoral umpire responsible. We are no longer looking at what the society thinks about us. We are demanding our rights from the political parties and from the INEC. Let me tell you something that happened. After the primary election, INEC came to tell us that only 12 persons made it to the 2022 general election. But I'm telling you now that there are more than 12 that contested. One of them is one of us, Madam Lois, who contested. She first contested, yes, under Abuja. That was 2019, and she did not win. Then this 2022 in the primary. But let me tell you something that happened. She engaged in a debate with the two other persons that contested in Kaduna. Somebody called over the radio and was not like, for the two men, they are good to go. But for you, a woman and a woman with disability, you have no place. Please just go and rest. This is a woman that has defied all odds to register as a political member, pay her dues, purchase the form, and now come up to the stage where she's engaging with other persons. And you are coming out to tell the person to her face that she has no place as a person with disability and as a woman. Who does that? And this is the reason why persons with disabilities, OPDs, are engaging INEC. We are not looking beyond what people are thinking about us. We are engaging INEC. We remove all barriers to our participation. And we are also sensitizing our people. Let us stop the attitude of being on the fence. Go out there, join a political party, let them see you. Do not go there to ask for arm. Do not go there on a charity basis. Register, pay your dues. Do not collect any arm. Demand for accountability. If there are any barrier to your participation in the political process, raise your voice about it. As long as you are a political party member and you are paying your dues, you are entitled to demand for your rights. You are doing this not just because of yourself, but because we want to change the narrative, because we want to change the society, not just for us, but for people who are coming after us. Every day by day, persons, like people get disability, every day by day. So you don't know who you are doing that for. So I am advising us. The center perception is what we see on daily basis. We live with it. It's always here. So we are no longer looking at it. We are looking beyond that. To go out there, to participate, join political party, demand for your rights. If the political party buildings are not accessible, just say about it. Speak to them about it. I know that some political parties are trying to incorporate persons with disabilities in their activities. Some of them have special leaders, but I am telling you that I'm not too comfortable with that special leaders. We also need to occupy some sensitive positions in the political party, because until we join, some certain things cannot change. If we continue to take the position of just a special leader, I can tell you that nothing will change. We need to occupy other sensitive positions so that at that decision-making table, we will engage them. If they are producing their campaign materials, we should also remember or to remind them that we have persons that are hearing impaired, we have visually impaired, and because of this, you should make these election materials, these campaign materials accessible for all. So there is connection, and actually, but my advice is that we should look beyond that so that we can change the narrative. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. That was beautiful. And as you can see from the applause, what you said got home. Okay, Mr. Larry, you want to say something?
Yes, I just want to say something briefly. She made a brilliant submission. But there's something I just want to add. We spoke about the attitude of the people to persons with disability. Have we examined our own attitude to ourselves? Because when you place a glass ceiling, a lid on your own aspirations, you will never go beyond that lid. So while we talk about what they are doing to us, can we also find time to talk about what we are doing to? When we break out of that limitation that we have imposed on ourselves mentally, that we can also take on the rest of the world and make them to understand that we are better than just being called persons with disabilities, that we can make contributions. So I think one big assignment we must all take head on is to remove the perception that we are persons with disability. So we need to struggle and then just beg for props on the table. The truth is that, come to think of it, all of us have disabilities. May not be physical, but we all have disabilities. So if we can overcome them and aspire to be anything and everything, it means that you too can. So don't limit yourself. Thank you.
The moderator, you've done the first round. I was expecting to be called. You went back to Camapign. Larry, so I don't know whether it's coming later or I should go ahead. All right. You know, a lot of times we think we are not part of it. Just like Chairman said, we are part of the process. When she was talking the first time, I brought my bag because I have some things inside I would like us to see. This is a Braille ballot guide. This is a Braille ballot guide used for the 2019 general election. Remember in 2019 we had a lot of political parties, almost something if I'm not mistaken. All the parties are here. And the endorsement is on it. Before this was used by the visually impaired and blind persons, we trained them on how to use it. For that 2019 general election, the ballot paper was this long. It was as long as this. So when a visually impaired person gets the polling unit and is being authenticated, the ballot paper will be put into this. It's just a jacket. It will be put into this list. Then the visually impaired person will use his or her hand to trace the political party. Of course, those of them that can read Braille, they were able to do this for the 2019 general election. And we still have it in place. If you don't know how to read Braille, please come to the unit with a person of your choice. Because it's not all blind persons or visually impaired persons that can read Braille. For the Enugu election, this one outside the country. So for the Enugu election, we look inward and we use this one. This one was made in Nigeria. Remember, the party is just short because I think 18.2 parties. And they were able to equally do what? Use this one to vote on election day. INEC, like we keep saying, cannot do these things all alone. Without the help of every other person, we can't be here. For example, when people are watching television and they don't see an interpreter, most of them you see them call INEC. What is happening? But I can assure you that INEC was the first organization that started engaging sign language interpreters during our meetings, during our election declaration of results, during every meeting organized by INEC. We use sign language, we engage them to interpret. And we are the first organization also that trains sign language interpreters on election information. Why do we do that? Because we don't have the data as at that time of where we can find all the deaf persons here. Then we engage the community of sign language interpreters and say, look, if we train you on the voting procedure, you'll be able to get down to meetings and assist INEC in taking this information to the grassroots. Most of them, and many of them who are registered, will be able to vote on election day. People still talk about engaging sign language interpreters on election day. We cannot, as an institution for now, do polling units. We don't have the finance to do that. But looking forward, it may come. For this election, we cannot do that. All we are going to do again is to sign language. If you have them in your communities, teach them basic voter education on election procedure so that they'll be able, on election day, when they get to the polling unit, they'll be able to follow the procedure and vote. We have this also with the help of our an organization for persons with disabilities. Came up with what we call form poster EC30 PWDs. This is small. On that election day, it's going to be in colored, very big, at the unit. As a person with hearing impairment or deaf, you get to the unit, you can go to the poster. It has pictorials. Look at it and follow the procedures. And if you can't, please come to the unit with a person of your choice. I'm happy we're not where we used to be. In 2011, there was nothing like this, right? For the first time this election, we have 84,072 persons that registered, persons with disabilities that registered to vote. And for this election, I keep telling them, I was in a meeting the other day, I said, we have passed the era of voter registration. We vote. No matter the number, 84 is something. If we all do a review, what happened? We see in nature. In all the states of the Federation, we have desk officer, disability desk officer. See our disability desk officer, Mrs. Antonia. They've all been trained on what disability is all about. If you're a person with disability and you're in Enugu, you have any challenge concerning elections, anything you want to know, please don't hesitate to meet her. She will educate you. And also call on all OPDs, Organization of Persons with Disability. I call on journalism because voter education is not only for INEC. I call on political parties. Engage with the disability community. The disability community can on their own organize something and invite INEC, the desk officer. Please come and teach us ABC of voting. They'll be there to teach you. They'll be there to enlighten you. We also have the magnifying glass, which we started using since 2015. So this is an upgraded one that with the help of ABLE2VOTE Foundation, we use this for Ekiti and Osun. And we made it available. This is a magnifier. That as a person with albinism, you come to a unit on election day and you're finding it difficult to read the ballot paper. You can use the magnifier. Now we have the number of persons with disability in all the polling units. We have the number from 2011 till now. Yes, during CVR, if you're a person with disability that registered before 2011 and you did not go to the unit to update or online to update, how can we get that information? Most of the blame should be what? Are we ready? Just like she said. If we are ready, we can against all odds, conquer. Take it that when you're going to school as a person with disability, it wasn't easy. It was not rosy. You passed through hurdles and you made it. The same way, for you to be in Nigeria, we don't have independent candidates. We don't have it. You must go through a political party. How many of us are members of political parties? Are we? If you're a member of political party here, can I see your hand? If you're a member of political party, please advocate for the stability inclusion. Be part of it. If they put their meetings at the altar, just like women, make sure you're there against all. Except you participate, you can't conquer. In Rwanda, we are talking about men now. They are encouraging men to be part of the system because women are literally taking over. Right? They came out, joined the system, ready to take, and they took it. The same thing can happen in Nigeria. Persons with disability, to me, is an excitement. You know, I've been working with persons with disability in 2014, and I know we've progressed a lot. We may have, like she said, 12 or 16. But to me, I'm very excited because he wasn't there before. Your history or your story can be better. Then you are the one to do it. On election day, you don't move out to go and vote. So now we don't have mobile voting. We don't have online voting. Then you say to yourself, I can do it. I'm going out to vote because we have the numbers. You can make a change. More than 25 million in Nigeria is not a joke. But because a lot of them didn't come out to register. Those that registered, please use your PVC. Make that desired change that you want. Believe me, you can do it. You can make people know that disability is not inability. Let me end with this woman. I had a person with disability, Obina, blind, working with me in the office. I'm sorry we lost him in 2020. But that guy is super intelligent. He came back one day to the office to tell me a story. He said he went to the bank to withdraw money. You know, people were queuing. He had to ask the person at the counter, please, that he wants to withdraw money. And the person asked the lady just beside him to help him and fill the teller. So he was standing and waiting patiently. And after a while, they've not called him. He was like, what's happening? Please, man, I'm still here. And the woman asked the lady, have you not finished writing? The woman collected the paper. Behold, she didn't write anything on it. Why? Like he said, she was terrible. So when he came back to the office, he was smiling. He told me, if they are calling person with disability now, they will call me back. Meanwhile, this is the best. She's beautiful, but she's very thank you very much.
Wow. Wow. Thank you very, very, very much. In fact, I'm excited. It is clear here from all that she said that INEC has been making spirited efforts to improve access. So please let us give INEC a resounding round of applause. Thank you very much. INEC, we appreciate your efforts. Now, the question is, she's told us a lot of what INEC is doing to make things easier for everybody. But I have a question for each and every one of us here. What are you doing? What are you doing as an individual to enlighten yourself, to improve yourself, to get to know, get educated on the voter electoral processes and what needs to be done? You have to make the efforts. You have to reach out. If you can't get to anybody, the key people directly, there must be somebody close, some officer close by, some CSO close by you can reach to ask questions. If you are physically impaired in one way or the other, your brains are not impaired. And as long as your brains are not impaired, you can do so much. I remember a story I read many years ago of Helen Keller. Helen Keller was blind, and I think she was also deaf. But the story touched me so much that it was amazing. She became a super speaker eventually, inspiring people and motivating people. She really, really made a tremendous impact on the society around her. But the one that really challenged me the most was the person who took time to move beyond her disability and train her mind. That's the person I felt was the main champion behind her. So the question is, what are you doing personally to improve yourself, to enlighten yourself, to educate yourself? INEC is doing their part. Like she said, they cannot do everything alone. We have to do our part. Start by getting a PVC. Start by asking questions to find out what needs to be done. Start by arming yourself with information so that on election day you don't go looking confused, wondering what to do. Thank you very much, INEC again. All right, I'd like to ask NCDC security man, sorry, NSCDC, sorry, please. How do you think the current security situation affects electoral rights of persons with disability?
Thank you very much, the moderator. As I said before, we see ourselves in an unfortunate situation where insecurity is heightened in the society. But one thing is sure, that special attention is being given to people with disability in this election. During the 2019 election, during the 2019, I think I have amplified voice. During the 2019 election, I was appointed the spokesperson of all the security agencies in Enugu State. If you watch NTA, Nigeria Decide, I was in NTA during the election. The reason is that we want to make sure that people are carried along, including people with disabilities. Let me tell you, the security situation is tense. Allow it to give attention. People make noise to create fears in people, including the so-called politicians. They will not want you to come out and vote. So they will do what they want to do. We are assuring you, this year, if I am also allowed to be the local security agencies, I will make sure that even in our meeting, even if I'm not, but in our meetings, we'll tell security personnel to pay special attention. We have been doing that. Special attention to the disabled persons and the aged. During the Anambra election, something happened. I was in one of the primary schools in Oka, and one of the houses. And I saw about two women standing by the side. No, we're just watching. And when I said, Mama, take each other. Each other to vote. What's in the air? Said that you go vote. She was looking at me. I was looking at her like this. She was looking at me. She said, come. You go vote. What do you have? Do the man Gabi the electoral officer there. I said, please allow Mama to cast her vote. The other was following her behind. Then they allowed her to cast her vote. After that, she was going. She said, Mama, report. Or say, no, why you for the name back on it to vote. No joke for her. So I followed her. I went there, I saw 17 women. 17! And I carried all of them. And I put them in. I said, come and cast your vote. It even went as far as that about 3 women want to vote. They don't know the symbol of the party they want to vote for. Yes. So one of them, because the best of you understand? That will show you that we have you at heart. We know you are there. And then we are incomplete without you. We are incomplete without you. So insecurity means we also educate ourselves concerning you. Don't think God Almighty is protecting all of us. We will do all within our possible best to make sure you are secure. Come out and vote.
Okay, thank you very much, NSCDC representative. We are really grateful for the assurances. Believe you me, if someone like you keeps starting, all the fear in the land will leave. Thank you. Representative of INEC here wants to make an announcement.
Please, just an information. For those of you who registered June last year, I mean 2021, to January 15, 2022, please, you can go to your various local governments and collect your PVC. For people who registered between the 16th of January this year till the stoppage of the continuous registration, the rest assured, as the commission, as the chairman of the commission has assured us, that the card will be ready probably by the end of this month. Like the publicity aspect of it, the people might say that INEC is not doing enough. We are doing more than enough. We have a little bit stayed the publicity or collection of PVC because we are waiting for all the PVC to be released. And once it's released, the rest are sure will be informed. But we really want to ask you that you are not supposed to go to INEC headquarters offices to look for your PVC. We don't give PVC there. PVC is expected to be given at the local government where you are expected to cast your vote. Although the commission is doing something to see that the collection of PVC is decentralized. But while we wait for that, if you fall within the period I've said, go to the local government and look for your PVC. Or now we are doing the display. The rebels and arrows are expected to carry the card alongside as they are doing the display. You can go to your various walls where it will be easier and closer to where you are coming from to collect these PVCs. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for that information. I hope we all took what they said and we will take advantage of it. At this point, our time is past 9 and we'll have to round up. We will now go quickly to the question and answer session, and I will call on the MC, Mr. UC, to help coordinate it.
All right, I've been directed to take 3 questions from each row. So we'll take all of the questions. You can also direct questions to certain individuals so that they know that you're asking them. So 3 from here, 3 from here, 3 from here. Okay, let's start with you.
Thank you for the opportunity to ask this question. Hello, straight to the point. I want to make a contribution when we are discussing about movement on the election day. But I have to wait and doing it now. During the last elections, I was opportune to be working official of one of the CSOs on election. And because of that, I have my uniform. I get my uniform on me. So that makes my movement very easy. So I want to say it here that once, as a person is elected, you come out on election day. There is usually CFOs, organization of persons committees, that are coming out with their vehicles, looking out for persons committee that want to vote. It happened in 2019. I was part of that. I know it's going to happen again in this 2023 election. Once you come out as a person who is submitting with your PVC, you are surely going to see any other organization or even voluntary organizations, FBO, faith-based organizations that will help you to your place of voting. Thank you and God bless you.
Any other person from here? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I really thank you very much for coming here. Okay. We've heard from you. Thank you for your advice. But okay, the INEC official said something. Okay. about collecting PVC? Is it from the local government?
The question is trying to ask is that you said we should not go to the INEC headquarters to collect it. That he has been to local government where he registered several times. They always ask him to go to headquarters, and now you say we should not go to headquarters. What can he do?
More questions? Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Camapign. I work with National Education Agency and the State Director of the National. I'm here to plead. I'm sorry I am late. I'm supposed to be here earlier than now, but I was planning on tomorrow. I didn't know it was today. I want to commend the INEC officers here for what they taught us. INEC have really gone a long way. It's a comment, not a question. I want to commend them, and I want to commend the organizers of people with disabilities. I want to commend them a lot because they have been trying and they been doing their best. For us in the National Education Agency, we are not counting the PWD out because when we want to do orientation on modernization or sensitization of anything, go to the market and do it, and we are not left alone in the market. We go to the churches, and then some stakeholders, we also talk to them. So I'm grateful to everybody here. And also beg that maybe next time we are doing this type of thing, we want to be part and parcel of it. We collaborate on. I've met Shamaka before, and it was an interesting meeting with her. So I would also want to be part and parcel of it. Anytime you are doing anything, even in your meetings, I would want to be there because we are having an inclusive something with the PWDs. So we're not left behind. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I thank everyone that is here. What the INEC official said, explained to us, and also helped us to understand a lot. Even all the things that she also showed us, it also helped us to understand that they are ready to include people with disability this time around. My question is, as you have said, there are people who are PVC since 2011 or 2015. They should go and update to be sure that their data match with their name or thereabouts. Should we go to our polling unit or INEC headquarters? Where can we go to update our data? Because myself, my own is since 2015. I registered 2015. Does it mean that I still need to go and check or to update it or not?
Okay. Hello, my friend Emeka. Right? Emeka. You know when the MC say introduce yourself, someone close to you and look behind me. I got this friend Emeka and Maxwell. Okay. When I was talking about updating, that was what is supposed to be done when CVR was going on. Persons with disabilities are registered 2011. Yes. But if you registered in 2011 and now, you don't need to update anything. Everything is there. Your name is on the register of voters. Yes. So you're not expected to update anything. All you have to do is to go to the ward, right, sir? The ward, local government, to get your PVC if it's ready. depending on, you have to listen to my boss to get the dates of those EDCs that are ready. Thank you. I don't know what that is.
Like I said earlier, we are doing what we call display now. And the display we are doing is all about claims and objection. You know now, INEC is trying to clean up the register which will be used on during the 2023 election. You know, there are complaints here and there that there are, beyond like 8 people that registered in that, in INEC register, which in most cases may not be blamed on INEC. INEC is now calling on the public to now help us to clean up the register. How do we do it? Go to your various wards between the 12th of this month to 18th. Change the register because they're going to publish the entire register and display it with all the units and wards of 774 local governments throughout the federation. Go there and look at this thing. You may know 1 or 2 people there. Probably somebody must have died and you know about it. Please go to the Enugu local government office, we can come and see. Give us the data of this person so that the name will be removed from the register. If there are anybody that you know that is underage and is registered and the name is in the register there, inform my name. This will go a long way to help us. Even on your own, if you are among the people that did the current continuous register, the registration, your name might be wrongly spelled, or one of the mistake might be there in your name. Inform INEC, we will give a form to fill, so that these corrections could be made before we finally come out with a clean register that we can use for 2023 election.
Thank you.
All right, let's take some phone questions.
More questions? Okay, let's get through here.
Good evening, everybody. Mine is the question and little selection. I want to suggest that INEC, handling human beings is something that if you don't take time, it's very difficult sometimes. So my suggestion is this: I had a terrible experience sometimes with some ad hoc staff. When the ad hoc appeal to and handle is not what it wasn't what INEC planned. The election day, I know that most polling units, they don't have shade, they don't have seats. Like somebody, my polling unit is at ShopRite. You can imagine how open ShopRite is. So I want to know, is there anything INEC is doing to make sure that when persons with disabilities come to the polling unit, we will be handled, giving them the preferential treatment? Because I know I cannot stand under the sun. So I don't have to go and queue. All these things, they demoralize, they discourage. If you tell me to go and stand under the sun and queue, I will leave. So they have to let the ad hoc staff know that when a person with disability, somebody who is on the when the person comes, the person is not standing. You will handle that person and the person will leave. So that's just what I want to do. That the ad hoc staff, they won't mess up what INEC has done. Thank you.
What of other people? The police, the road safety, even the ABLE2VOTE.
That's what I want to do. Because when you cannot all the police here in about there, maybe after all this plan and all this plans, I think all these things. What make you say an MOT? What are the MOT? Because we are several one or the other. That's my no other I think from that's my question. Are they carried along?
All right, two more questions and then I'll get back to them. Any more questions? Okay, I'll get to you. Just go straight to your questions.
My name is Mr. Melone Benedict. I come. There is a question I want to ask. When the INEC recent electoral commissioner was talking, he says that the INEC had both manual and electronic devices for the incoming election. And I would like you to highlight to us a little more on what informs for the both method of election. In addition, we are very thankful for these organizers of this because it has built to fiscally challenge more light in their mind. Like something about the disability bill that is being discussed in the Enugu House of Assembly. As I was coming into this hall, a makeshift bridge was made. That is how we managed to come into this very hall. This very thing, as INEC is doing, should equally make a meaning to leaders in their various positions to do something very positive. A lot is required for the improvement of people who are fiscally challenged so that they can be making very positive contributions to the growth and development of their country. So my question on electronic
I thank you, sir, for all what you have said to us. Some explain something that is clear to us, and also our security officer also explain many things to us. Now, when it comes to the time of election, people say that disabled provide that they will do that. But people with 2 months are the polling units. And also the jail people I can't hear. Will just push the person away. What do you think? What do you consider to do about that? The second one. Because the number one, because people lack of. Also, I also suggest that there are a separate polling unit that is this unit is majorly for people with disability. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
But I want to ask one question. For that question on the papers, I know there are speculations that yesterday that some places might not have network that might help in the transmission of the beavers, that some places might not have. So I want INEC officials to emphasize the beavers is now the faith of Nigerians now towards the credible election that we're talking about. It's the 5 votes. So please, the clarification on whether network is going to affect the beavers.
All right, because of time, let's tackle what we discussed for break.
Thank you very much for your question, sir. What's your name, sir?
Why is this discussion going on? This can we have order in the house? Hello. Let's not go over and behave like mature. Yes, for you and your discussing about his name is Reverend Dr. Kuara.
Reverend Dr. Kuara, thank you very much. And that's a blessing together. I put in place persons with disability. If you agree with me, we're not talking about exclusion now. We're talking about inclusion. For the blind, rather, we have put in place measures. One of it is what? As a person with disability, you come to a unit on election day, go to the front of the queue. You are allowed to vote before any other person. I cannot do this. You tell someone who will tell someone, and everybody will get to hear what is happening. If we leave everything on board to ensure that this election is going to be successful. The election, a lot of people come to the unit. The presiding officers are overwhelmed. We train them. What do? We have to go back and keep training. We train and retrain. As an INEC staff, I've been on duty on election day to monitor what is happening, and you get to a unit. The brave ballot guide is there. You ask the presiding officer, please, can I see the brave ballot? He said, no, there is nothing like that. I insisted, please bring your bag, because I'm an INEC staff. I checked, and behold, the brave ballot guide is there. What do I have to tell you as a person with disability? Know your rights. Remember, we moved from the model of social and whatever. It's about rights. If you have the right information, insist that the right thing be done. And that brings me to the point of education for the security personnel. We've developed what we call, hey, the house is noisy. Are we following? Hello? Hello? Please, we need to listen. We developed what we call the Disability Inclusion Guide for Security Agencies. We did that in collaboration with the ABLE2VOTE Foundation. We can equally use that guide to educate the security agency, because some disabilities are hidden, right? If they are not well informed, they will understand that on election day, a visually or a blind person or a deaf person comes to the unit, and the person is okay, you're looking at the person and he's saying, I am deaf. The security agency may even say, please go out from. But if they are well informed, if they understand what is happening, and we work together, such things will not happen on election day. So all we have to do is to get to the front of the queue, let the presiding officer see you, you are allowed to be attended to first. And if persons with disability in that particular unit are too many, you can form your own queue, right? But as a person with disability, you get to the unit, don't go to the front of the queue. Presiding officers, we keep training and training. We may not get it 100%, right? But we keep doing what we have to do. But if you know your right, I will land with this. Somebody on a purchase went to a bank to withdraw money. He told me that by himself in Abuja. He got to the front of the bank and they said he can't use his clutches to enter, that he should drop it and crawl. The guy said, never, he won't do that. Why did he say so? Because he was well informed. If you know your rights, they won't mess you up. And then he said he's going to stand there and make noise, that they should call the bank manager. Do you know at the end of the day, everybody that was coming out, he said, they are not allowing me enter. It's my right to go in and get my money. They called the bank manager, and the man came begging. Please stop. Come in. Why? Because he knows his right. We keep training, but we equally need you to pass the information to everybody that needs to hear it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, somebody asked a question on what my state commissioner meant by manual and electronic voting. Is that all right? Yeah. INEC is going purely electronically. What we mean by manual, you know, it is not everything that will be done electronically now. There are some aspects that are human. By this, I mean like from ECHA. The manual filling of the form, there the result sheet at the filling in level, and the collection of results at the collection center, local government center, and that of the state constituency. Are you get what I'm saying? These things are going to be done manually. Then the aspect of electronical aspect will be transmission of the result, which we call IREV. Once the presiding officer finishes at the polling unit, he is expected, with the help of RATEC, to transmit the result electronically on time, immediately he finishes, so that you can view it at the comfort of your home. You see where the manual aspect of it comes in. Manual aspect means collection and announcing the results. Then electronically is the transmission aspect of it. Another person asked a question on the online, offline of the givers. Givers is built in such a way that it accommodates both. If you could recall during the continuous registration, there are some local government that doesn't have a network there. But we try as much as, the commission try as much as to carry them along. So the givers is built in such a way that it accommodates both the online and offline. In fact, it is the most, of all the things that it is in electoral law, the use of givers. I wouldn't be mistaken if I said that the National Assembly will sleeping when they pass that law. Yeah, that is true. Because they never knew to be that way. And that was why the commission has assured that their vote will count. And it will count. Then somebody asked a question. Sir, please, which local government did you register? When? Is it a new registration? Okay, just wait, the card will be out, The card will be out. They have not printed all the cards, even the one that was registered last year. Not all of them have been printed. Especially the transfer, update, and correction. Most of them is yet to be printed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the MCA and the moderator. Hello, there's a lot of noise in the floor. Somebody asked question about security on election day. Yes, my brother, I want to inform you that all the security agencies will have seminars and workshops together. All the security agencies. And by the grace of God, I am one of the resource persons in that. So what I'm telling you is what the security agencies will do. It's not what personal or civil defense alone. No, it is all the security agencies. That is one. Two, MOT is not part and parcel of security agencies. They are not part of it. So if every MOT man disturbs you that day, tell the person you are going to have time for him. If he insists, report him to other security agencies. You understand? So that's about that. Then another one is that please, if you are having challenges in a polling unit, you go to cast your vote. Don't make noise. Report to any security man around. Hello? As a security personnel in a polling unit, I'm there, you come to me and tell me you cannot stand, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. So far I identify you as person living with disability, I will take you to the referral officer. And I will be the one to explain to them that this person is a person living with disability. Please attend to him or her. And that person will do it. So we are working hand in hand, and by the grace of God, we will land where we are hoping to land. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much. Our time is fast spent. We have to end it here now. I want to thank the panelists here for their robust and rich contributions and enlightenment to all participants here. Thank you so much, and we hope you will make good use of the information that you've learned so far. Thanks, and God bless you.
All right, Andy, can we have you for the pictures? Madam, you can join them for the pictures. Andy, let's have the pictures right now. Joining us is the State Director, National Orientation Agency, Mrs. Florence Ife. Welcome. Yes. Well, I think we have to start, right? Will you stand behind them? All of them will stand? Okay, let's stand for, are they sitting or standing? Thank you. All right, thank you very much, panelists. And I'll just give the State Director a few minutes to just do a message, and then I'll bring Andy for vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, fellow participants. I'm very glad to be here with you people. I still apologize for being late. I was banking on tomorrow. I didn't know it was today until I saw a text immediately and was running to this place. So glad to be here with you. I thank the resource persons here, the security, NSCDC staff, the INEC staff, the moderator, Chiamaka and others. I'm very grateful to all of you, and I really enjoyed what they taught us today. But I want to chip in something. Auntie Chiamaka was saying that people should participate actively in politics. I want to support her fully. Please, have self-confidence in yourself. Don't shy away from your responsibility or from your rights. Join any political party of your choice. Participate actively, like she said. Have full confidence in yourself. Be encouraged and be strong. Are you hearing me? Yes. So I want all of you to participate actively. And when anybody wants to ask any question, feel free to ask questions. Feel free to defend your rights. Because we are all the same, we are all human beings, made by one God. And God loves all of us. For us, the National Orientation Agency, if you have any question anywhere you see us, please ask questions of anything, both politics or out of politics. We are there for you. We want to carry all of you along and we carry you along. Whenever you have any problem or anything that confuses you, please ask us questions. We are ready to answer your questions. We are always there for you. Are you there? Yeah. So, I think I don't have much to say. The thing I wanted to say, all of them have said it, so I don't want to repeat it. Thank you so very much.
Hello. Yeah, that some of you are requesting for my number, as I promised. And before I give you my number, let me inform you that there's what is called situation room on election day. Situation room is a communication room where all the security agencies will have their representatives receiving calls, complaints, and reports from all parts of the state. You understand? When the time comes, we also give you numbers for that. But for now, take my number 080 372 192 70. I repeat, 080 372 192 70. My name is Denny Manuel. Denny, D-E-N-N-Y. Then Manuel, M-A-N-U-E-L. The surname is Iwuchukwu, if you care. PRO Civil Defense Corps, Enugu State Command. Thank you. I think I'm done.
Thank you. So far, so good. We're coming to the end of the program. And I want to welcome Freke for her vote of thanks. Let's welcome Indy for her vote of thanks. You people sabi make noise.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon, everyone. Please permit me to stand on existing protocols. So this is just to thank the INEC officials, INEC Enugu State, and INEC Abuja for honoring our invitation, to thank the National Orientation Agency. It's a privilege to have the state director here with us. And to thank all our friends from Anambra, from Ebonyi, from Abia, from Imo, traveling all the way to Enugu to participate in the ABLE2VOTE voter education campaign. Thank you very much. We have learned a lot. And one thing that we must all take home is, on the election day, your voter card is your pass. So even if you want to forget every other thing, please do not forget that, and endeavor to participate in the elections actively. Thank you very much, and I wish every one of us a journey mercy back to our various destinations. Thank you. Darling, and please, just to note again, I want to count. If you know you have your PVC, please. Yes, there is a fight. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. We are grateful. that marks the end of the campaign. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you to all of you. And as you go, God bless you.